Hello everyone, this is Meenakshi Pirari, working as a assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. Since from last few lectures we were discussing about conductometry, this is once again from the same. Conductometry is a measurement of electrolytic conductivity to monitor a progress of chemical reaction. Conductometry has notable application in analytical chemistry where conductometric titration is a standard technique. In usual analytical chemistry practice, the term conductometry is used as a synonym of conductometric titration. So, conductometry is often applied to determine the total conductance of a solution or to analyze the endpoint of titrations that include ions. In today's lecture, we will study about conductometric titrations. The conductometric titration, in that there is the determination of endpoint of a titration by means of conductivity measurements. Conductometric titration is a type of titration in which the electrolytic conductivity, often the reaction mixture, is continuously monitored as one reactant is added, and the equivalence point is the point at which the conductivity undergoes a sudden change. What is a principle of conductometric titration? Conductometric titration is a titration used to measure the amount of an analyte present in the given solution by measuring the change in the conductance as a function of volume of titrant. That means a known volume of the acid is taken in the conductivity cell. The base of known strength is added from burette in small aliquots and the conductance of the solution is measured after each addition. So, the conductometric titration is a type of titration in which the electrolytic conductivity of the reaction mixture is continuously monitored as one reactant is added, and the equivalence point is the point at which the conductivity undergoes a sudden change. So, the conductance is due to the movement of ions in the solution, and one ion replaces with another ion of different ionic conductivity during the titration. During the titration, we see that one ion replaces with another ion of different ionic conductivity, whereas when we observe the equivalence point graphically, it can be determined after plotting the titration curve. So, the conductometric titration is process of qualitative chemical analysis in which concentration of sample is determined, which is done by adding a reagent that is called titrant of known concentration in measured volumes to the sample, that is called as a analyte. In conductometric titrations, increase or decrease in conductance are associated with the changing concentrations of two most highly conducting ions, that is the hydrogen and hydroxyl ion, H plus or OH minus ions. And this method can be used for titrating colored solutions or homogeneous suspensions. There are different types of conductometric titrations. These are acid-base or neutral titrations, replacement or displacement titrations, redox titrations, precipitation titrations, complexometric titrations, and non-aqueous titrations. In today's lecture, we will study acid-base or neutral titrations. The acid-base or neutral titrations are also of different types. These are strong acid, strong base, strong acid, weak base, weak acid, strong base, and weak acid, weak base. In today's lecture, we will discuss acid base or neutral titrations, which are having these four types. Strong acid, strong base, that is the example HCl versus NaOH. Strong acid, weak base, HCl with NH4OH. Weak acid, strong base, acetic acid with NaOH, and weak acid, weak base, acetic acid with NH4OH. So let us see one by one. First of all, strong acid, strong base. Here we take an example of HCl with NaOH, whereas HCl, it is a strong acid, and NaOH, that is a strong base. Here both HCl and NaOH are strong electrolytes, that is they ionize immediately in the solution. Suppose that a solution of hydrochloric acid is to be titrated against a solution of sodium hydroxide of known strength. So that is the reaction H plus Cl minus plus Na plus OH minus, it gives Na plus Cl minus plus H2O. When we observe this reaction, here H plus Cl minus, that is nothing but analyte, that is we are going to determine that how much HCl is present, and NaOH, it is a titrant, that means it can be filled into burette. Then as NaOH is added to HCl solution, we see that it forms NaCl, that means that forms Na plus and Cl minus with water. Here NaCl, it is also strong electrolyte, therefore it can be represented as ionic form, that is Na plus Cl minus, whereas this H2O, water, is non-ionic, that means it does not contribute for any conductance. Here out of these H plus and OH minus ions, these are fast moving ions, therefore these are having high ionic conductivity, whereas Na plus and Cl minus slow moving ions, that means they have low ionic conductivity. Suppose that a solution of HCl, hydrochloric acid, is to be titrated against a solution of sodium hydroxide of known strength, then there is a reaction H plus Cl minus Na plus OH minus gives Na plus Cl minus plus water. If we draw the graph, here the conductance of HCl, it is represented by this blue line, and the conductance by NaOH, it is represented by red line. That means before titration only HCl is present, and presence of H plus with high ionic conductivity gives high conductance, so that here the value of conductance in the graph also higher due to presence of H plus ions. During titration till equivalence point or neutralization point, H plus with high ionic conductivity is replaced by Na plus with low ionic conductivity. Therefore, conductance decreases. Here at this point conductance decreases because all the H plus ions that are replaced by Na plus ions. So at equivalence point or at neutralization point, NaCl and H2O are present, therefore there is least conductance, and after equivalence point there is excess of NaOH, and due to the addition of NaOH in excess, there is accumulation of OH minus with high ionic conductivity, and that means the conductivity increases due to presence of OH minus ions. So the equivalence point or neutralization point is determined graphically. So for strong acids, strong base, that is with example HCl and NaOH, initially the conductance of acid solution is high due to the presence of high mobility of H plus ions in the solution. As the titration progresses, these ions are replaced by Na plus ions of low mobility. As a result, the conductance of the solution falls. After the end point, the conductance of solution increases due to introduction of OH minus ion in it, which arises from unreacted sodium hydroxide. And the point of intersection of the two lines gives the end point. The nature of the graph, it is shown in this figure. So it is the curve where volume of base on y-axis and that is conductance on x-axis. So this is the conductometric titration curve for strong acid, strong base. That means fall in conductance due to replacement of high conductivity hydrogen ions by poor conductivity of sodium ions, and rise in conductance due to increase in hydroxyl ions, that are OH minus ions. Then the next, that is strong acid, weak base. Suppose that hydrochloric acid is taken in the conductivity cell and solution of ammonium hydroxide of known strength is added from burette. Here HCl is strong acid whereas NH4OH is weak base. So it can be represented by the reaction, that is HCl that dissociates because HCl is a strong acid and it can be represented in ionic form like H plus Cl minus, whereas NH4OH it is weak base, so it cannot dissociated immediately, so it cannot be represented in ionic forms. So HCl, H plus Cl minus plus NH4OH, it gives NH4 plus Cl minus plus water, where water is also non-ionic, that means does not contribute for any conductance. Out of these ions, HCl it is a strong acid and H plus ions having high ionic conductivity, that means these are fast moving ions that show the high ionic conductance, whereas NH4Cl that is having low ionic conductivity, these are slow moving ions. If we observe the graph here, before titration only HCl is present, therefore there is presence of H plus ions with high ionic conductivity, that is high conductance, and during titration till equivalence point or neutralization point, H plus ions with high ionic conductivity is replaced by NH4 plus with low ionic conductivity. So all H plus ions will be replaced by NH4 plus, therefore the conductance decreases. You can observe here in this graph the conductance by HCl, it is represented by this blue line, and the conductance by NH4OH it is represented by red line, and this point of intersection, that is nothing but the end point or equivalence point. So before titration only HCl is present, and due to the presence of H plus with high ionic conductivity, there is high conductance, and during titration till equivalence point, H plus ions with high ionic conductivity is replaced by NH4 plus with low ionic conductivity, and therefore conductance decreases. Then at equivalence point or neutralization point, all HCl will be reacted with NH4OH, therefore there is the formation of NH4Cl and H2O. When all HCl will be reacted with NH4OH, there is formation of NH4Cl and H2O. NH4Cl having less conductance and H2O it is ionic, non-ionic in nature, so that after equivalence point there is excess of NH4OH that should be added, and due to the excess NH4OH that does not dissociates due to common ion effect and conductance remains constant. So the graph we can observe here again for strong acid, weak base. if we consider hydrochloric acid is taken in the conductivity cell and the solution of the ammonium hydroxide of known strength is added into the burette. So what happens? Initial high conductance of the solution decreases with the addition of solution of ammonium hydroxide, as high mobility of H plus ions are replaced by low mobility of NH4 plus ions. After the equivalence point, however, the conductance of the solution does not change markedly with the excess addition of ammonium hydroxide. This is because the dissociation of NH4OH, which is in itself small, and further it is suppressed by the presence of the common ion, that is NH4 plus ions in the solution. Therefore, the graph we can observe here like that. The nature of the graph is shown in this figure. Simply, there is fall in conductance due to replacement of hydrogen by ammonium ions, and conductance remains constant due to suppression of NH4OH by NH4Ca. Then the next one, that is weak acid, strong base. Suppose that a solution of acetic acid is to be titrated against a solution of sodium hydroxide NaOH of known strength. Here also acetic acid is weak acid because it does not dissociate immediately, and the NaOH, it is a strong base, that means it dissociates immediately. It can be represented in the form of ions. So by using this reaction we can represent the acetic acid is analyte and it is weak acid, so it does not dissociate immediately. It cannot be represented in the form of ions. Whereas NaOH is strong base, it can dissociate immediately. It can be represented in the form of ions like Na plus OH minus. So that we get this reaction CH3COO minus plus Na plus water, where water is non-ionic in nature, that means it does not contribute for any conductance. So in this we can remember that acetic acid CH3COOH, it does not dissociate easily, so it cannot be represented in the form of ions, whereas NaOH, that is a strong base, it dissociates immediately. It can be represented in the form of ions. There is acetate, sodium acetate dissociates better than acetic acid. Sodium acetate dissociates better than acetic acid, and Na plus has low ionic conductivity, and also the H plus ions and OH minus having high ionic conductivity. Here if we observe this graph, initially the conductance of the solution is low and there is formation of sodium acetate during neutralization that suppresses the dissociation of weak acid, that is due to the common ion effect, which lowers the conductance of the solution. After that, the rise in concentration of sodium acetate, that is a salt, it tends to increase the conductance. Due to the formation of sodium acetate, that increases the conductance, as the sodium acetate dissociates better than acetic acid. The combined effect of two opposing tendencies is that the conductance passes through a minimum and then increases. Here we can observe increase in conductance. The position of minimum, it depends on the concentration of the acid and its dissociation constant. So here the conductance by acetic acid is represented by this blue line, and the conductance of NaOH is represented by the red line. Here the acetic acid is weak electrolyte, that means it does not dissociate easily, and NaOH, that is a strong base, it dissociates immediately. When we compare the sodium acetate and acetic acid, the sodium acetate dissociates better than acetic acid, and Na plus also, that is a low ionic conductivity, that is a having low mobility. Then after the equivalence point, the conductance increases rapidly due to the presence of OH minus ions with high mobility. And the graph is shown in this figure, and it is clear from the graph that identification of the endpoint is difficult in such a case. With moderately strong acids, the same type of graph is obtained, though in this case the minimum is less pronounced. The identification of the end point is again difficult. The conductometric titrations therefore is not suitable technique for titrating weak or moderately strong acid and strong base. In case of weak acids like boric acid, the conductance is very small and increases as the titration proceeds due to formation of the salt. Around the equivalence point, however, the salt is considerably hydrolyzed. This gives high conductance values around the equivalence point, which considerably depart from the expected values. After the endpoint, presence of excess of strong base suppresses the hydrolysis. The conductance increases more rapidly due to the presence of OH minus ions with high mobility, and the endpoint is obtained by extrapolation. When we extrapolate here, we get the endpoint. So here we can observe the curve for titration of a weak acid against strong base. In short, initially there is decrease in conductance followed by increase due to NOH and step rise due to excess of NOH. The conductance increases more rapidly due to presence of OH minus ions with high mobility, and the endpoint is obtained by extrapolation. So it is for weak acid, strong base. Then the next, that is weak acid, weak base. Here consider the titration of acetic acid against the ammonium hydroxide. So here acetic acid is weak acid and NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide, weak base. Both acetic acid and ammonium hydroxide, these are weak acid and weak base, so it cannot dissociate immediately. So the reaction can be represented as acetic acid plus NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. It gives the formation of CH3COO minus plus NH4 plus water. As acetic acid is weak acid and NH4OH is weak base, they does not dissociates immediately, so they cannot be represented in the form of ions. But as the NH4OH is added in the analyte in acetic acid, there is formation of ammonium acetate, and ammonium acetate have better mobility and it can dissociate in the form of acetate ion and NH4 plus ion, that means CH3COO minus plus NH4 plus, whereas H2O is non-ionic in nature, therefore it does not contribute for any conductance. So the reaction is represented as acetic acid NH4OH sodium ammonium hydroxide, and it gives the acetate ion plus ammonium ions NH4 plus ions. So in this case acetic acid and NH4OH ammonium hydroxide both does not dissociate easily because acetic acid is weak acid and ammonium hydroxide is weak base. When we compare, the ammonium acetate dissociates better than that acetic acid, and NH4 plus ions also having low ionic conductivity, that is having low mobility. When we observe the graph, we can see here the conductance of acetic acid represented by this blue line and the conductance by NH4OH represented by red line. Here we can observe that before titration only analyte, that is acetic acid, is present. Then the acetic acid does not dissociate easily, that is having low conductance. After the addition of NH4OH, initial addition of NH4OH, the acetic acid and small amount of CH3COO NH4 plus, there will be the addition of NH4OH, initial addition. The acetic acid does not dissociate easily due to common ion effect of acetate ion CH3COO minus, and there is a slight decrease in conductance. During titration till equivalence point or neutralization point, CH3COO NH4 plus ionizes better than CH3COOH. That means the conductance increases slowly. And at the equivalence point or at the neutralization point, CH3COO minus and NH4 plus ions are present. Therefore, the conductance increases. And after the equivalence point, as there is the excess addition of NH4OH that does not dissociate due to common ion effect, and again the conductance remains constant. As in the weak acid and strong base case, the conductance decreases with addition of NH4OH and passes through a minimum. If it is then increases with more and more amount of ammonium acetate, a strong electrolyte which is being formed as the titration proceeds. After the equivalence point, the conductance of the solutions remains almost constant. This is because of small extent of dissociation of ammonium hydroxide ion, which is further suppressed by ammonium acetate, that is due to the common ion effect, and that is represented in the graph. So curve for the titration of acetic acid against ammonium hydroxide. So here increase in conductance due to excess of acetic acid, and the constant conductance is due to suppression of NH4OH by acetic acid, that is due to common ion effect. So it can be represented by such a type of the curve, and we can determine the equivalence point or end point of such a graph, that is for weak acid, weak base. Now we have studied four types: strong acid and strong base, weak acid and strong base, weak acid and weak base, weak acid and strong base. Now, what are the advantages of conductometric titrations? As we have studied the four graphs and four types of the conductometric titrations, from that we get the information that the conductometric titration does not require indicators, since the change in conductance is measured by conductometer. Also, conductometric titration is suitable for colored solutions. Since endpoint is determined by graphically, means accurate results are obtained with minimum error. That is also important advantage of conductometric titration. Then it is used for analysis of turbid suspensions, weak acids, weak bases, mixture of weak and strong acids. The conductometric titration, in that temperature is maintained constant throughout the titration. This method can be used with much diluted solutions also, and it can be seen by eye. So these are different advantages of conductometric titrations. Now the next thing, the importance of conductometric titrations. So by using conductometric titrations, we can estimate the endpoint by plotting two straight lines using the usual graphical method. Endpoint of the titration process is determined by means of measuring conductivity. This theory is used for colloids that have ionizable functional groups like latexes. This titration process can be used for either turbid or colored liquids in cases when you cannot detect the endpoint by using indicators that are normal. So conductometric titration is used for color solutions. It is suitable for turbid solutions, suitable for dilute solutions. Also it is used for determining the concentration of weak bases and weak acids or mixture of acids. Special care is not required at the endpoint as it is determined graphically, and also the important thing, it does not require indicators. The conductometric titrations have many applications that is useful in pollution in water, also in quantitative analysis of compounds to determine alkalinity, salinity in water, the purity of distilled and demineralized water, also the solubility of sparingly soluble salts can be determined by using the conductometric titrations. So there are number of applications of conductometric titrations. So in today's lecture we have studied all about conductometric titrations with suitable examples. Thank you.